Hello and welcome to a YouTube exclusive for the Get Out of Gaming Plus podcast. I'm one of the hosts, Ben,
I'm Alex.
and today we're doing a special treat. So we are going to do a review on this bad boy right here. So this is Nintendo 64 Quest. Just so everyone knows, we were part of the Kickstarter. um, Alex and I, and we were at the level of being associate producers, but we wanted to do like a quick review of this. They do have it for sale now. At the very end, we'll kind of go through some of the prices, and then we'll also put a link so you could buy this on their website right now,
Yeah,
actually, as this is being talked about now. Um, but before we get into like what this one is, let's talk about what they've done before. So it's been about 10 years they did this bad boy, Nintendo Quest. So Jay and Rob, best friends since childhood, had this Nintendo club, and as a dare, Rob said, "Hey, I dare you to get all of the North American NES titles in 30, was it 30 days? I think it's 30
30
days.
days. Yeah.
He couldn't use the internet. He had to go from store to store. He had a budget, and he had to get them within the 30 days,
hmm
which this documentary we've talked about on the podcast before. This is what got me into collecting my Nintendo. Um, I love this. This is actually one they just released on their 10th year anniversary. Um, so I think I got this from Vinegar Syndrome. I don't know if it's still for sale, but definitely check it out. But today we're talking about N64 Quest. So the way N64 Quest goes is they have 14 days to collect 296 of the N64 library. They had $20,000 budget. They could not purchase anything
Twenty
online. They
thousand
had to
dollars Canadian.
Canadian. Yep. And they had to do this in this time frame. So what did you think when you got let's talk about the packaging. What did you think when you got it, Alex?
So I guess we'll kind of go into this. So since we were associate producers and we were on the Kickstarter, we had the luxury of watching the episodes early.
Yes.
And so when this initially showed up, I was not in town, so I got a lovely, nice package when I got back home. And immediately, I really do like the slipcover. I think it has very nice packaging. Um, One of the things I like is always the Nintendo seal of quality there, where
Oh,
it
that's
just
really
says
cool.
a film by Rob here. I like everything about it on here. Um, but then when you take it out, it also has a nice cover on here, and it has all of the stuff, what it includes, and all of that. So like overall, I feel like the package itself is pretty good. The content, obviously, like that's what you're wanting.
Yeah.
But I did want to bring up a couple things here. So our version that we have is the 3-disc Blu-ray version. There is a 2-disc Blu-ray and also a 2-disc DVD. The 2 discs just come with just the 14 episodes. The 3-disc has an extra um, one here, extra Blu-ray disc, where it has different types of bonus features, such as Jay's game room tour, interviews, just stuff like that. I want to say it's about
Mhm.
like 7 bonus features total. And then one other thing I do want to say, I'm not sure if the ones online are like this as well, but these are Blu-ray R Blu-rays. So you can tell that because they're black on the bottom here. Um, and you shouldn't have any issues because I know like back in the day, like there's some like DVD-Rs and stuff like that that might have issues with different players and all of that,
Mhm.
but Blu-ray Rs don't seem to have that issue. I was able to play this on my PlayStation 5 just fine. I was able to play this on my Xbox Series X just fine. And then you can also tell because there aren't many things being used for like the special features here, so you can see like the data on here. So
Yeah,
um,
I particularly when I was available when this showed up, and I was super excited. So I texted Alex and go, "Hey, look what showed up today." Um, I have not watched all of the features on there. I did watch the tour of James J's game room. That was pretty cool. But there's like a lot of extra interviews. There's um, a lot of different things in there, which I would expect from a 3 disc Blu-ray set with
Mhm.
bonus features. I feel like there's a lot, especially when it comes to the interviews. Um, so I thought that was pretty cool. There are 14 episodes total. They're all around like 20 to 25 to 24 minutes each.
Mhm.
Um, we are gonna. I want to make sure I didn't say this at the beginning. This is spoiler free, so we're not going to spoil any of the episodes or what happens. I will say, for me personally, um, I I did like N64 Quest,
Yeah.
even though I am not a huge N64 person.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the episodes were really well done. Um, it's definitely different than Nintendo Quest because Nintendo Quest was just like a movie, so it was like things were cut, but when you watch it and then you watch the Power Tour, you see all the things that were cut. So I do like how they switched to more of a episode because I feel like you need to get all of the information, in there of what's been going on.
Definitely.
Um, but yeah, I did really, really like this here. I mean, what are your thoughts, spoiler free, of what did you think of the episodes and what did you think of the whole thing?
Yeah. So overall, I enjoyed this a lot. um, I won't say necessarily say that I enjoyed this more than Nintendo Quest, but the format especially. Like I think um both have their merits and both have really good cinematography and all of that. But the format of being a docu series instead of
Mhm.
an actual just documentary, or instead of just like an actual like movie, um does help it a ton. Like you said, just having all those extra little interactions and things. And then every episode also kind of breaks down like a special like feature, or something about the N64. So you're not just watching Jay on his journey, you're also learning things as well. And there's some like little interviews here or there with other like famous like YouTubers, or developers, composers, like that kind of stuff, sprinkled in within the episodes.
Yeah,
But yeah, I really did enjoy it a lot. I am a person who really likes their N64. We had the opportunity to have both of them, Jay and Rob, on the podcast last year, to do a little bit of like an interview before this came out, and we talked a little bit about stuff like Diddy Kong Racing and all that. But
yeah,
it was really cool to see, for me especially. Like I'm a collector, but not really for N64 anymore. But to see when they had um the screen where it's like, here are the top 20 like rarest games, like the big ones, it was
yeah,
cool to see. Well, one, what was on there, and then two, like I have 6 of those. I didn't know they were like rare
yeah,
games, because I don't follow that. Or like I've collected some of these so long ago. I was like, oh, like I know Barman the second attack is rare. I didn't know that it's like on this list or whatever. So it was cool
yeah.
because I have more of a touchstone to like N64 compared to NES. So I was more invested in it just because of what I have played in my childhood.
Absolutely. I think another thing is I don't think I mentioned this. All of the games they got were going to be auctioned off um, to donate to a very, very good cause.
Yes.
And I think that's what makes it even better. This was not just for him to collect them for his personal collection.
Yeah.
They were being donated, and the money was being donated to a very special um, thing there. And I don't want to spoil it with that, um, but I will say it was really cool to see that. I do like, especially in Nintendo Quest as well, they do a brief history and then they go into this. I will say we had no villains like JD from
Hmm.
Nintendo Quest and no shady underdealings with people in Florida, like in Nintendo Quest. But it still was really cool and it's stressful because at least with Nintendo Quest you had 30 days. This they only had 14 days.
Exactly.
So um, I think that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
There. I personally I couldn't have done it. You know, and it's nice because this came out pretty close to the 10-year anniversary of Nintendo Quest.
Yeah.
So that was really cool to kind of see that happen. Um, and as a Nintendo Quest, you see, um, it's not just like let's get all these games and that's it. You see real life happen. You see real things happen. You get to know Rob and Jay very well. And if you've never seen Nintendo Quest, it's two best friends on this journey together all over the place. They were not just in Canada, they went to United States, you know, and it's a lot. It's a lot to get some of these like I think like one of the bigger N64 sculpture cut,
Yeah.
Clay Fighter.
Yeah.
And knowing that was on his list of like trying to find it. So if I had to like say, like a review wise, I definitely think this is definitely a watch and an own. You know, nowadays we have all these different things with, nostalgia and stuff like that. Anything Nintendo to me is nostalgia. I
Yeah.
remember seeing an N64, owned one for a brief second. So in my personal review, I think this is definitely a buy. I would recommend the 3 disc Blu-ray, only because you get those extras on there.
Yeah.
Um, seeing Jay's room was pretty cool, and the interviews were really great because it's like a more in-depth interview with some of these other people.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I really do appreciate the product. I also just I love supporting physical media, especially
Mhm.
nowadays when places like or companies like LG are not producing Blu-ray players anymore and stuff like that. Like everything's all streaming and streaming this, streaming that. And like streaming can be good. Like you can try to watch some things on streaming, but to actually own something of value here, 14 episodes, like I definitely when I watched this, I watched it on like our way of doing things because we were um backers on Kickstarter. So I haven't really had an opportunity besides the bonus disc to really um look at it on Blu-ray, but I can't wait
Mhm.
to actually like watch this again because it was that good of a trip for sure, just to
Yeah,
see the journey, to see all this. And now this is spoiler free, but now that I know what's gonna happen, it's interesting to see the show again, knowing like, oh,
yeah,
they did this here, but they could have waited for this or whatever, like there's definitely stuff like that here. Yeah, I think it is definitely worth it for the price and everything, and I did want to go through those prices here. So I do, where is it? So the 3 disc set, it comes with 3 discs, the bonus features disc, like I said before, and it also comes with that slip case. um that set is normally about $60 Canadian. At the time of this recording is $50 Canadian, which is approximately like $35 or so. That's a really good price
yeah,
for a TV show, honestly, because something brand new that comes out on Blu-ray, um, those tend to be double that price. So I'm shocked that they can sell it for this low to people. um let's see, there's also the 2 disc set, which is just the 2 regular discs without the bonus, normally for 35 Canadian. uh it's 30 Canadian right now, which is about like $21 US. And then there's a 2 disc DVD set, which is normally $30 Canadian, $25 Canadian right now, and that's about like $18. Um, you don't see many people make DVD sets anymore. Like I know there still are people who have DVD only. So
Mhm.
it is nice to have that for people who want it. It also is nice that it's separate in its own little section for people who want it as well, because I can't tell you how many times I have these Blu-ray DVD sets and I'm only watching the Blu-rays and I paid double the price because I got a DVD with it. So like it's
Yeah,
nice that like people who want DVD, they can get DVD over here, but us who want Blu-rays, we're not taking a price hike because we're getting both the Blu-ray and a DVD. So I think the prices are very fair.
yeah,
Again, we kickstarted this as associate producers, so um, we paid a different price compared to what these are here. But if I was buying this on my own for a friend or for myself, these are great prices for sure.
absolutely, and I think, I think as you're watching it, you're probably gonna wanna go back and find Nintendo Quest. Um, I know at one point, definitely look them up on YouTube, they had it on their YouTube.
Hmm.
Um, I would suggest watching Nintendo Quest, and then the Power Tour, and then watching the N64 Quest. Um, and Rob still has other things that he works on as well, other features. He actually has um, a couple other things that he's been working on director wise, and then Jay streams. But now this is the important question of the day, Alex. So, does this get the Get Out of Gaming stamp of approval?
You know, of course it does. Like
Of course.
of course it does. This is honestly, it might have been yours as well. Um, this was my first Kickstarter that I've ever like
Hmm.
backed before, and it left it was a very solid time. Like it wasn't it didn't leave a bad taste in my mouth or anything.
Nope.
It was very a lot of good communication from Rob, a lot of great ways, like we said earlier, like we had a way of watching it digitally before our packages came and stuff like that. There are a lot of great features and ways that they helped us. So like if they ever do a another project in the future with Kickstarter, um I will probably be like a day one supporter, like when I find out about
Yeah.
it, just because of how great this process was and how great the product is. So
Yeah. Same with me. Like this is my first Kickstarter I've ever done. Um, and I've been on Kickstarter for years of like looking at projects, but this is one that I knew I had to get it. When the Nintendo Quest one came on Vinegar Syndrome, Alex texted me right away, goes, "Dude, did you see this?" I bought it that day.
yep.
I bought it with maybe another movie, China O'Brien. Not the case. But I did buy it day one. And then when they knew, once we had them on the show, they talked about their Kickstarter. I was like, I got to get it. And
Yep.
I will say that I'm not disappointed in this at all. As Alex said, it definitely gets the stamp of approval from the Get Out of Gaming. Um, I'm really, really hoping that they do another one. I know recently they were on talking about, hey, we if we did one, what would it be? I wouldn't care as long as it was some sort of quest. Um, and I would definitely
Yeah.
do it.
When
Uh,
they at the end they had a questionnaire that you could fill out, right? And I'm gonna I don't know, the cat's out of the bag with this one. There's a questionnaire and it asks like since we backed it, like what would you want to see from the next quest and stuff. So it showed like Super Nintendo, and you could choose all that you want to see. Super Nintendo, Genesis, PlayStation 2, this and that, Master System. Hey, Jay and Rob, I was the one guy who said Master System. Um so I know there's no one wants that. I know you guys talked about like someone said Master System. Wow. That was me. I
The
love
one person.
yeah, I was the one person I think, because I love me some Sonic 8-bit, and, Aladdin, Disney's Aladdin 8-bit, so yeah, that was me, so I'm sorry. I know you're not gonna do it, but, I just wanted you to know that was me, so
Well, in these series where we do reviews of games, movies, and that as we I will make sure that the link that you could buy these is in our description. So please feel free um, to check them out and buy it. The Nintendo Quest was on a place called Vinegar Syndrome. They are a great resource as well. They have like a bunch of crazy stuff on there,
yeah,
stuff that's been out of print, and then they reprint it in Blu-ray format, which is crazy. But uh, I'm not gonna put the link for that. You guys can check it out. I don't know if they have any more of these ones left, but definitely go on there, buy this, support them, check them out. Also for us, we are a bi-weekly podcast. So if you're watching this and you're like, hey, that's pretty cool, check out our podcast. Go to Spotify, hit follow. We're on
yeah,
Blue Sky.
we are.
We're on YouTube. If you like us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. We like that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, it helps buy my dog's dog biscuits. No, it doesn't. But yeah, check us out there. Check us out on all that social media. Um, yeah. I don't think I have anything else since we gave our CO approval.
Yeah.
Anything for you, Alex?
Nothing much, just get at it.
Get at it.